Thank you to our sponsor, Nomad's Path Wines. These are wines that are funky, earthy, sometimes cloudy, always alive, reflecting the grape and the soil that it comes from. It's wine with a story, not a formula. So I'm Sarah Tessel, and I am a realtor in Northern Virginia with Real Broker, and I'm here with Chris Devine. Chris, tell us about you. Tell us about where you work, what you do.
Yes, Chris Devine, Fairway Home Mortgage. I'm a mortgage loan officer, so I help people finance the homes that Sarah finds for them.
And we have been working together for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, a few years.
Quite a while. We met through a friend of a friend on a boat, because if you're in real estate, you have to be on a boat.
You gotta find a way to get on a boat.
I know. We haven't been on a boat in a while.
We gotta talk to our boat guy.
We need to find a new boat friend. So if anyone out there has a boat, we're in.
We're open to boat invitations.
Right. We can be bribed with boats.
With boats.
So, my goal on the podcast is really to talk about kind of the things that realtors and lenders go through that nobody talks about, right? Because we can't a lot of the time, but also because nobody knows. We're always posting about just close, just, under contract, whatever, not, oh my God, the septic doesn't have a permit and I don't know how we're going to get it.
You didn't see all of the nonsense that got us there.
Right.
You see the end result, which is great, but the hoops that are jumped through.
Right. And the 18 phone calls that we've had where I text you and say, I'm going to jump off the balcony, which is true. That did happen one time.
Do I need to do a wellness check?
Yes.
Went across my mind.
Right. Just call the front desk. They'll check on me. So, we've done obviously a lot of business together. So we're going to talk about some of the things that our clients have gone through. And then, we'll do some questions at the end. So,
Perfect.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
All
This is
right.
the first one. We're just working it out.
Guinea pigs. We'll figure it out.
And we're drinking the wine because real estate drives people to drink. And I think that is going to be the slogan.
Yes. And whatever this is delicious.
It's so good. What is it? It is still apple grape wine. I don't know. It is actually good.
Yeah, I'm down.
I do really like it. It's like a sour almost.
Yeah, there's something to it.
There's something. Yeah. And we're drinking out of our corgi cups, obviously.
Because of course we are. Why wouldn't we?
Yes, and the corgi's upstairs. Okay. So anyways, so one of our recent clients that ended up not being your client, we'll call her Diane.
Okay.
Diane, I met at an open house in my building. And do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, Diane. Yeah.
Diane. Right. And Diane, my building is lower dollar. It's an older condo building, has a high condo fee. So it's good for people buying their first house. I mean, it's my first place. I bought it 11 years ago next week, actually.
Hey.
And, it's a good place for people to start because they don't have to have a ton to put down, which we'll always talk about later.
Oh, yes.
But, they also are going to be able to get into it without, even if they did put 20% down, that's only like 40 or 50,000 instead of 150,000.
Yeah, not super breaking the bank for that first purchase.
Exactly. So Diane came to me. She was delightful, very excited for her home purchase. And her and her husband were looking to buy, a 2-bedroom place. And, they decided they didn't like the unit that was in the building, but they wanted to work with me looking at other properties. So, of course, the first thing I do, send them to you. Yep. Because while it is very annoying how many things you ask for, we also know that it's going to get done.
Yes.
It's going to get done. Or if I tell people, if you can't do it, nobody can.
Exactly.
Because you're going to try everything you like to call it getting cute.
Oh, yeah. Love to get cute.
We're going to get cute with it. Try to figure out which pieces we can put where.
Finagle something here and there, and we'll
never
get cute,
anything
we'll get it to work.
Not allowed.
No, of course. Always
within
stay
the confines of the law.
Yes.
But
we get cute. We get creative.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And so this Diane had a lot of money to put down. Actually, she had a couple $100,000.
Yeah, it was a significant amount.
Yeah, and so with a sales price of $300,000 or $350,000, a couple $100,000 is great.
Yeah,
to
most
put
of
down.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So her loan was going to be about $100,000. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that situation?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, we can't go into specifics, but essentially, one of the reasons that we emphasize, hey, let's do this thing early, is we don't like surprises, right? We don't like surprises on the lending side. You don't like surprises on the purchase. Clients don't like surprises on the purchase. When we're talking about this, hey, let's do this with as much time as possible before you're ready to buy, it's because of things like that. If we try to do this on a Saturday and you want to write an offer on a Saturday and this pops up, right, we don't have any time to figure out what to do with it.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So planning ahead helps out in those kind of situations. We're kind of looking at what to do there, how to get past something like that.
Right. And I do tell people, Chris is going to ask you for all the things. And yes, you could go to XYZ major bank in America. And they, you sell them, oh, I make $100,000 a year. This is what my credit score is. And they will give you a pre-qualification.
Which honestly shouldn't exist.
It's not worth the paper that it's written on for sure. And so, a lot of people want to do that because they're like, well, this is my bank. I want to stick with them. And we have a certain credit union in this area that is people are big. They're very loyal to their credit union. Very loyal. I wish I could find somebody that loyal to me, in the business sense. So, that's why it's so important. Yes, but we know if we get under contract, it's going to close, or at least it's not going to be your fault if it doesn't close, because we've already done all of the things. And I think the biggest thing is it's not because, I just want to make sure that they can afford the house because I don't want to waste my time. It's because their deposit is going to be at risk. We're talking $5,000 or $10,000 for that earnest money deposit. And I don't want somebody to lose that money because they didn't do what I told them.
Do the due diligence. Exactly. Like, make sure, hey, don't risk all this money for no reason if we're not certain.
Exactly.
Right? We want to know what's going on, and then we can start that actual purchase process.
Right. I like to say information is power.
Information is power. Yes. And I like to say, my wife knows I don't like surprise parties. I don't like surprises.
Oh my God.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't plan me a surprise party.
And if you call me without texting, it's going to be a bad surprise. It is not.
Every Chris and Sarah call starts with, can I call you?
Or what is it? Please don't tell me.
No, I know what.
So Diane was, having trouble getting the loan. But you got cute. You did all these things to make it happen. And then we get the list of conditions. And you call me and you said, oh, this is great. These are easy conditions. It's a list of paperwork, things that, need to be done, and there was an issue with her spouse's, immigration paperwork.
Immigration status. Yep. Yeah, immigration statuses are tricky because, whether you're a U.S. citizen, a permanent resident, or a non-permanent resident, right, you get the same information regarding mortgages, you get the same opportunities, but there are some caveats, some specific pieces to that regarding what that status is, right? And there's not this big list of yes and no and things like that.
It's not easy to figure out.
Yeah, it's more so, what does that classification look like? Is it everything in the mortgage world is about risk, right? Are they going to be able to repay this? Are we sure they're going to be here long enough to repay this?
Right. Maybe they're going to run off. I mean, I guess anybody could do that. I could just say, you know what? I'm moving to Europe.
Yeah, I'm out.
Peace out.
Toodles. But
because I guess they don't have credit scores over there or something.
Oh, is that?
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. They do have them in Australia.
I could be wrong.
People come from Australia, and I get the Australian credit report.
Is it different?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Okay. Great, thank you.
But I've used it.
Okay. So
that might be the first cut.
All right. So Diane ended up being able to get some money from family.
Yeah, that was part of the getting cute. Was like, hey, if we had a little bit more money, we could get this thing to work. Is that something that you may be able to get? And
since she was able to get a little, she figured she'd get a lot.
She'd get a lot, yep.
And every time that happens, because it does happen, I call my parents and I'm like, okay, so what if you give me my inheritance now? I'll notarize something to say that I will not ask for it later. And they keep telling me no. Yeah. So I obviously need to get new parents. So if anybody wants to adopt me, please let me know. I'm very expensive.
We're looking for
I mean, we're bougie a little bit.
Little bougie. But yeah, I mean, that's, part of, you said it earlier when we started talking about this, when it's like, that didn't end up being my client. And it's because we're trying to get her to buy the house.
Right. You weren't upset. I mean, I'm sure you're like, oh man, this.
Yeah,
sucks.
Of course.
Also, it was a $100,000 loan, so you're going to make like $500.
But we treat them all the same.
Right. And, no, you do. You're good about that.
Yeah. But it's also like, okay, what do we need to do to get this thing across the finish line? Because the end goal is we're helping people buy homes. Yes. So then I'm like, hey, can you get a little more? She's like, I can get a lot more and buy it cash. I'm like, perfect.
All right,
then
bye.
We don't have to jump through all these hoops. That worked out well for you.
Right. And so we didn't have to wait for her husband's situation to get figured out. She was able to just buy it with cash. And again, that's great. Like we do a lot of work that is unpaid.
Yes.
Especially, I think you probably more than me,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't really shop realtors in the sense of like, oh, it's cheaper to use this realtor. Well, no, it's more of like if you get along with the person.
Exactly.
But for you, I mean, people are like, they're shopping the rate. They want to make sure they're, we talked about that credit union. People are very, they're very loyal to, their banks, and they don't understand the value of the local lender.
Exactly.
And so that's, people think, oh, well, you get some, Chris gives you something. No, Chris don't give me nothing.
Nope.
He didn't even buy this wine, okay?
Nothing.
I know. Sometimes you bring water to the open houses,
Yeah.
and then I drink it at home. But like, that's
is that where that goes?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
It goes
got
in my freezer.
Understood.
Yeah, and that's what, your $6 is appreciated. So it gives me $6 worth of bottled water, and it's the Giant brand. Okay.
Yeah. If anybody's listening, no, I don't.
It's Giant brand. Okay, so it's we're really
It's not even. And sometimes it's Kirkland.
okay. Look,
Give me that.
we don't need to
Kirkland.
talk about Costco. We love Costco
We
over
love
here.
Costco.
We love Costco. Okay.
We love Costco.
Anyways, people,
Not a sponsor.
I tell people, yeah, we need that. I tell people, look, it's because I know if Chris says that you can get a loan, you can get a loan. And if Chris says you cannot get a loan, you can't get a loan.
Yeah.
And I've had the experience where you told somebody, no, this other one is better. You should go with them. I can't match this because of whatever program they have, or it's an ARM and we can't give you an ARM for whatever reason. So, that's why, I trust you. I sent my brother to you. He did his refinance with you, and he didn't even tell me, anything about his loan application. You kept the secrets.
Yep.
You don't tell me stuff you're not supposed to,
Nope.
even if I try to find out.
Yeah,
I love
that's staying. There's that wall.
Yeah, I love to know things. I just want to
Yes.
know. I just want to know.
Knowledge is power. Isn't that what you said earlier? Something like that.
Yes, the information, but
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, it's
same
Same thing.
same.
Knowledge is power. That was Miss Frizzle.
Oh, was it? Okay. They're coming out with a new movie.
I
But
didn't. Okay.
anyways,
This
a
is
live
what
action.
happens
This
when-
is
yeah.
this is set in open house for 2 hours.
when
they're
there's
usually-
nobody in the open house.
When there's nobody in the open house, and then when there is, we're like, oh my god, this is so exciting!
Yeah, look at
Someone
us
is
go.
here. Someone's here.
We
We're
get
so
to work.
excited. Yes. And so again, the value of the local lender is that you're available, right? If I called you at 10 o'clock, well, I would never.
I'm gonna panic.
Right. And I will also, if I'm calling you at 10, I am also panicking.
Yeah, there's something going on.
But, that you're working on the weekend, we had somebody recently who was applying, and, he was like, well, I can't do anything. It's Friday. And I said, oh, no.
Yeah.
Chris is going to do it, and he's going to do it today.
That's right.
And if he doesn't, I'm going to yell at him, and he's not going to like that.
I don't want that.
No.
Nobody wants that.
I try to save my yelling for when it's really,
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I yelled at somebody.
I don't know. It wasn't me.
It might have been our big time story that we have for the next
Okay.
episode.
Yeah.
But so, we do a lot of that unpaid work because, Diane ended up not getting a loan at all. It had nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
You're just following the rules. So, just that's what happens. So,
It does happen.
and it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, but,
But it's also exciting because, again, we want them to get the home.
yes,
So
absolutely.
that's
You were still very happy for her.
Yeah, of
You were
course.
not, you're not worried about it. Which brings me to another person actually who you didn't get to get us. I feel bad.
yeah, this is actually going horribly.
This is going horribly. So, Chris and I both are never going to tell people, oh, you can get $1 million house. You should buy $1 million house.
Yep.
Because what I could get approved for, I would never pay that much
Yeah.
per month. It's
No.
just that I would be uncomfortable with it. Just because the bank says you can afford it, don't mean that you can. Like,
Exactly.
you know your finances
Yeah.
much better. So we had a client. I haven't made up names for them
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
Billy and Sandra.
Okay. Billy and Sandra.
Billy and
Got it.
Sandra couldn't be less like their names.
All right.
All right. Billy and
Sounds
Sandra.
good.
Billy and Sandra wanted to upsize. So they wanted to sell their home. They had another kid. They wanted to sell their home, buy a bigger house, which has its own challenges, obviously, doing two things at once.
Yep.
And, you looked at their credit and you looked at their finances, and, you and I both really told them this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Don't buy a house. Like, just put up a wall and your kid
Add
can
an
have
extra bedroom
right.
where you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we care about the people. We want them to do what is good for them financially. I don't want somebody coming back in 2 years and being like, we have to sell this house. We can't afford
Yeah,
it.
we can't make this payment. It's the sentence that I stress all the time. I call it the head on the pillow, sound asleep at night number. It's like, there's the qualification number, and that number makes most people want to throw up. Of like, oh
Definitely
my
makes
God,
me want to throw
yeah,
up.
Could you really? It's like, whoa, the bank could you really, right? But yeah, that head on the pillow, sound asleep at night number, I tell them that number, and then what they're asking for is way above that number, but we can approve them for it. So of course I'm going to say, hey, we can. Let's have this conversation. This is where you wanted to be. This is where it is. You know, we can't make that decision for you, though.
Right. And we do, I mean, more times than I would like to have said, look, this is, maybe you should rent for another year, or maybe you should stay here for another year and get some more equity, or save some more, or work on your credit. But, you know, sometimes people don't listen. And so Billy and Sandra got approved by another lender. Mm-hmm. Again, not your fault. You were trying to do the right thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
I also told them we can do it, right? This was one of those situations where they had a little bit more of a unique program for them. We have a lot of unique programs, and we had them in one of them, but this was something that we didn't know, right? I didn't have access to, and I was like, yeah, if that's better and it actually does what you want it to do, take it and run. I'm not going to be upset about that.
Right.
I'm upset when it's the same thing and they're commoditizing me. Right. And they're like, oh, it's
a quarter percent.
Yeah, this and that and whatever. And it's like, okay, but all the other things.
Right. And look at all that I've done for you.
Yes.
Well, and these clients you had worked with for a long time. You did work a long time when you were trying to figure out, work on their credit. They were self-employed. So that is a whole other animal.
Oh, yes.
And why you absolutely have to get pre-approved well before you start looking at homes if you're self-employed. That is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because people don't keep good records. They don't file their taxes, or they don't do it right.
Yeah, or they don't do it right, or as they should, right? There's the amount that they make, and there's the amount that they show Uncle Sam that they make. Right.
They write off as much as possible, same.
Yeah, sure. It's not about what you make, it's what you keep. Right. We all know that. But what you keep is a little different on paper. And that's what we have to do. But that's the hardest part for people to understand about lending is when we're talking and I'm like, I believe you, right?
Oh, yeah.
I understand what you're going through.
Because you couldn't live on that salary.
No, there's no way. But it's also like, okay, there's what we know to be true. And then there's what we can prove with documentation to a neutral party. Right? That the underwriters don't have a stake in this. They don't
We're on your side. We want to close it.
I want to close every loan. Are you kidding me? That's why the underwriter's there. Because otherwise I'd be like, hey,
okay.
Yeah,
sounds
here's
good.
your money.
But yeah, so I think that's if you are self-employed, you should really be looking 2 years out to make sure. Now you're gonna have to pay more taxes in the next 2 years, but then you're gonna have that paperwork documentation for your taxes.
Exactly. Or we go with like a bank statement loan or something more unique, a little bit higher interest rate, less taxes. You be the judge. That's on you. Again, we can't make that decision for you. We're here to give you the info and let you do with it what you will.
Right. And these were, Billy and Sandra, they loved their new house and we were able to sell their house. They're very happy and I hope they continue to be very happy.
Yes.
The numbers would make me uncomfortable. And that's, I always tell people I would advise you like I would advise my brother because I don't want him doing something stupid because guess who's going to have to drain their savings to help him? Not me, my parents. And then where's my inheritance? It's gone.
That's why we're asking for it.
Right, exactly. Because I want to make sure that they don't, what if they live too long? 95. My grandpa's 96 years old.
That's amazing.
He was like, I didn't expect to live this long. One time he called me and said, I need you to send me $100 a month or I'm going to come live on your couch. And I said, well, it's not very comfortable, but go ahead because I ain't sending you nothing.
Yeah, you ain't getting that.
No, come on. So, these are unique experiences, and I'm sorry to bring up two that ended up not working with you. Yeah. But again, it's not about you and what you do, and it's about the person's situation. And so this other guy was like, "Yeah, I can give you $1 million, sure, whatever." And you're like, "Yeah, so could I," but it's a freaking terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. Yeah. And so, like I said, I hope those people are very, very happy.
Of course.
But.
We'll see.
We'll see. Again, I hope they win the lottery and they can just pay it. I hope that for everyone.
I hope I do too. Yeah.
I mean, one of us. I'll give you a cool $1 million. Right. I mean, only
That's
if I win
not on camera.
only if I win $350 million. Okay. Come on. But then it's only 175.
Yeah. Uncle Sam, not about what you make, it's what you keep.
What you keep. So
outrageous.
I'm trying to think of some other people that we have helped. I should have written them down. Oh, I did. And we had another person who, again, from my building, who has an issue with her immigration status. Not an issue. That's
Yeah. No,
you
it's
know,
not
it's
at
just
all.
it takes the government a really long time to do anything.
Yeah, government's not as fast as we want them to be for things like this. And again, any of those kind of pending statuses, right? Those cause an issue because at any time the pending could be yes or no.
They could
right?
they
And
could send them home.
Exactly. And of course, that's not expected, right? And again, that's one of those things where it's like, hey, but I'm on this pending status. I'm here for
Right.
5 years for whatever it is. And it's like, I wish I had a better answer, right? There are other programs, but they don't quite fit what you're looking for, right? But it's like, there's not really a way around something like that. We can get cute with certain things. That's one of the ones that it's like, oh, this is a hard no for this specific program that we were looking for you. And the other programs don't quite fit
Right.
what you're looking for, unfortunately.
Well, and money solves all problems. So sure, if you can put 40% down, then yes, you can get the
Yeah.
rest in a loan.
Yeah.
Pretty much, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Because if they take the house, they'll get plenty of money back.
They'll have all that equity in there.
Exactly. But most people don't have it. I
Especially
don't.
in our area. I mean,
right.
we got high price points here. And
Right.
that causes problems sometimes.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have to put 25% down, I mean I don't have it for even my own condo that I own right now. I don't have 25% to do it. I'm not doing
Most
it.
people don't.
Most people don't.
Yep.
And
I mean,
that's-
our average down payment percentage right now is probably between 3 and 10 that I see, unless it's somebody who's selling a current home and buying
Right.
a new one and has all that equity that they've built up for the past however many years.
Right.
Right. But most of the time we're seeing first time home buyers with minimum 3, 5, 10% down. That's fine. We can still get you into the home.
You can do it.
Yep,
And your
we
credit
can do
score
it.
doesn't have to be that good either.
Not for first time home buyer stuff.
Right.
Yep. We can absolutely work around that.
I think those are the biggest myths that we
Yeah.
deal with.
Constantly I'm hearing, I
Oh.
want to save for 20% down.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, sure, that would be
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
But like,
would love to have
how much?
20%.
I mean, how much equity are you losing, and how much? I mean, somebody that I talked to, paying $3,000 a month for rent, but it's like, well, that's $36,000 in a year. Like, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I mean, I know you're writing a check every month, so it doesn't feel like it's that much. Well,
Yeah.
who's writing a check these days? I don't know. Somebody.
Auto pay.
I know. All my clients are like, I don't have a check to give you. I'm like,
Yeah.
Venmo, just Venmo it to me. I'll write the check.
Yeah. Every time at closing. All right. How do I pay? How do I pay whatever?
Oh, can I use my credit card?
Nope. We're going to set up that auto
definitely.
pay for you.
Definitely. But your closing costs. Can I
Yeah.
play my closing costs
Oh
with
my
a credit
gosh.
card?
Yeah. Please don't ask about credit cards or suitcases full of cash.
It's happened.
I'll talk to people, talk about assets. Yeah, I got, $10,000 cash. I'm like, okay, now does that mean in a checking account or are you talking
Right.
about literal cash?
And don't put it in your checking account.
Don't put it in the checking account.
'Cause now, and that's the big thing is like, we're there for the whole process of, okay, if you're going to do anything that involves more than like $500, talk to us. Like,
exactly.
don't buy a new car. Don't go get, something
Financing
crazy.
your furniture for the new home. That's a big one. That's, a week before closing. They're
Right.
so excited to move in.
Yes.
And then the whatever furniture place has this awesome deal, 0%
Right.
financing, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to finance this couch. Please don't do that.
Don't do
No,
it.
don't.
You're going to have to live without a couch for a few weeks. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Or
Just
a day. Don't
Right.
wait till after you close.
Just
That's okay.
the next day, you can go
Next
get a
day.
couch.
Literally the next day.
Yeah,
Just
but-
let us sign the papers.
Yeah, but it's rough. And so we have a current client that is gonna close.
Yes, they are.
They are.
Yep, they are getting ready to.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, we're looking.
We're not.
Nothing's closed
I
till
know.
it's closed. We know that.
That's absolutely. So we're on our second contract.
Correct.
They are they're going to buy a farm, which is awesome, but
Yeah.
also my brain cannot compute how much they are going to have to do daily.
With the
like
land.
cows and
Yeah. Animals.
sheep.
And
I just can't, it sounds great.
it does.
If you
And
can
it's
hire
exactly
people to
what
do
they
it.
want.
It is, I was
I
like,
think
we
it's
will get
'cause
you.
We would never survive.
I would
on a
never.
farm.
It's like, I'm like, okay, I know where I'm going for the zombie apocalypse, to your guys' house, because they're going to can things. There's like a basement,
Cannery.
yeah, basically.
Yep.
So
I think that's what it's called.
I think so. I don't know. I'm going to get them some ball jars, the canning
Yeah.
jars for closing, because that's,
It's strong.
it's strong. It's good.
It's a good gift.
Yeah. And
Listen.
I listen. Maybe. But so we saw a couple properties a few months ago,
Yep.
and they found one they loved. Well, that's a little strong. They loved the land. It had beautiful views. It was very nice.
Yeah.
The land was very nice. The house was not so nice.
Not as nice as the land. Yeah.
Not as nice as the land. And their thought was that they would build a new house eventually.
Yeah, they're also very handy, right? They're buying a farm. They're great at fixing things up, and they were going to kind of do that to the house
And
themselves.
he grew up on a farm, so he knows what he's doing. Because, like, you get some city people coming in there being like, I'm going to buy a farm. I'm like, I don't think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe you
know.
should rent one for a couple of years and see how that goes. But he knows what he's doing. She knows that they're very, they seem to know what's going on.
For sure.
So, but they decide, we really want this house. We really want this house. And we really tried to talk them out of it.
Yeah, we keep saying that. I feel like we're not.
We want what's best for them.
We never try to talk them out of their purchase, right? But we're doing this podcast because we've seen a thing or two, right? The
Too
stuff
many
that you
things.
don't think about happening in a situation like this or in a transaction or whatever, and it's like, hey, I'm going to throw, I like my little one-liners. My dissatisfaction happens when expectations don't meet reality. Right. And it's
Yes.
like you have these awesome expectations to buy this house with this beautiful linens, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not trying to crush that at all. But like, these are the things that we've seen happen
Right.
in situations like this. So I just want you to know that they are a possibility.
Right. Here are the risks.
Yes.
If you decide to take the risk, that's fine.
Totally fine. We're going to help you all the way through that risk.
Right. And
Yep.
if it doesn't work out, then okay, but you knew what the risks were.
You knew there was a chance that something like this could pop up. And now you're not so disappointed.
Right.
Right. Plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Yes,
right? You're not
always.
as disappointed if it happens because you knew at the beginning, oh, this is a possibility.
Right. So the house was in disrepair.
Mm-hmm.
It was extremely smelly.
Yeah, I never went in it.
Find that I get smelly houses. I don't know what that's about.
Ew.
I know. It's not me. I
was
swear to
gonna
God.
say,
I'm not that smelly.
only one.
I don't know. Can you smell me right now?
I can't.
Okay,
I
perfect.
can't.
Well,
But,
my boyfriend can't smell anything, so it's really good for me. I don't have to worry about it. Anyways, they had some cats.
Mm-hmm.
They were an elderly couple that lived there, doing their best,
Yep.
right? Just
Just-
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they only spent time in the downstairs because the upstairs was really in
Yeah.
disrepair. There were cracks in the plaster wall. And of course, it was built in like 1900 or something
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it might have
So
even been before that.
it might have
been
been.
in the 18s.
it maybe.
Yeah.
But, so it was just a really old house and it hadn't really been super well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we told the client, well, the other caveat is that they had a VA loan.
Yes.
So VA, can you talk about some of the, the things that VA kind of does differently?
Yeah, it's just so the VA appraisal, it gets a bad rap, and it shouldn't, but there are certain things really that it's focusing on safety and security, right? And that happens for conventional loans too. It happens for FHA loans too, but the VA appraisers really look at the safety and security piece of that, and there's certain things that we'll kind of be able to get around, certain things that we can't. I know this one had a lot of peeling paint, right?
They
That's
don't
one
like
of the
that.
big things for the VA, the peeling paint, if it's before 1978, because of the risk of lead and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just extra little pieces for that VA appraisal that they're looking for because they're trying to protect the veterans. They
Right.
want to make sure that the vets aren't getting themselves into a sticky situation too.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And I do think that veterans should be able to take advantage of that benefit.
Oh yeah, I
you know?
love VA loans, especially for our area. Again, we have
Right.
so many military
Yes.
and transit. I love VA loans. I'll do them all day long if I could. They're the best. That VA appraisal just gets a little bit of a bad rap because every once in a while it comes back with things that you're like,
Right. It
Really?
scares people.
It scares
I think.
people
It scares
sometimes.
people. And so, the buyers they understood and they were willing to take on those
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
issues. They were like, can we go in and fix it before closing? We were like, no, we're not doing that.
yeah,
I don't want you to spend money on a house that you do not own.
You don't own. That's the big thing.
Yeah,
right?
just don't
Yeah.
throw. We like to protect everybody's money, including
Yes.
our own, but mostly theirs.
Yes.
And so, we wrote the contract in a little bit of a different way because usually the inspections are right up front.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the first things that happen. But we wanted to get the appraisal done
Yep.
because we knew that was going to be an issue.
That was going to be a huge factor of whether or not this thing was going to even move forward.
Right.
Was what does that VA appraiser say about this? So you wrote that contract perfectly where we had the appraisal first and then all of the other stuff that typically comes before that. Because again, we didn't want our client dishing out for all these other inspections
Right.
and this and that. If then the appraisal is going to come back and cause an issue that the sellers aren't going to be agreeable to anyways.
Right. And I think that the appraisal was $700.
Correct.
And so you told them that if they're okay with lighting $700 on fire, then
we can certainly try.
Right. We are not against, if this is the house you want, we want you to have it.
Absolutely.
But again, there are those risks. And so let's figure out, okay, what are the risks? Are you willing to take those risks? And then, of course, if the appraisal comes back and it's terrible, well, yes, you lit $700 on fire.
Yeah.
But now we know.
But let's quantify that risk.
Right.
Exactly. Are you going to be kicking yourself for the next however many years if you didn't move forward on this one?
Right.
If it's like, hey, are you okay risking $700? Let's see what the appraisal says and then figure out how to move forward from there, or punt the contract and go find something that's not in a state like this where this is the issue.
Right. And so, I think, the home inspection would cost, $600-700 also, plus the septic inspection is like $1,000, plus the wells like $500.
Mm-hmm.
So, instead of them having to waste $2,500, plus the appraisal, so over $3,000, it was like, okay, let's just do the $700, figure it out. And, the other agent was very like, okay, let's
understood.
see. And the reason that it wasn't under contract is because they had originally listed for over $900. And it was not, again, it was in disrepair. It's not like it's not like there was an earthquake and it all of a sudden looked like crap.
Yeah.
And so it had been a couple years that it had been off and on the market, and we finally got it down to a much lower price. And then the appraisal came in. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I got the call. From you.
Yep, I know. Oh, gosh. Not my favorite call to make.
No. So we were $110,000 under our purchase price.
Yep.
Now, we had the contingency, so we went back to them and said, hey, if you give it to us for this price, we'll still take it, which is wild to me anyways.
Yeah.
But
there were also there were some
conditions
that needed to be repaired to get us to that value.
And we, tried to get the seller to do it. And I know the other agent tried to get the seller to do it but sellers often don't want to listen to, this is the value. This is what the guy is saying.
Yeah.
So talk about, there's those five or six different conditions of the property for an appraisal.
Condition ratings.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's condition 1, condition 2, all the way down to C6, right? So it goes down to condition 6.
6 is like,
is
you can't
like
even go
falling
inside.
apart, decrepit. You can't be in this house. Typically C1 through C4, we can lend in. C5, they're not going to want to lend in that. And C6, like I said, that's a house that's falling over. That's terrible. So essentially, C1 is like brand new, never been touched, right? And then C6 is falling over and everything in between. Most homes we see are probably C2 or C3-ish. That's kind of like standard. Yeah, home's been lived in for a few years, C2, C3, somewhere in there. So this one came back and they said that it would be, if we did these certain fixes, right? The peeling paint, the plaster, the exposed stuff. If we did these fixes, then they would give us C4 and let us lend in it. But if they didn't, it was C5.
Right. And there were those outbuildings.
And there were some outbuildings that needed to
They either needed to be demolished or fixed. So, we had to go back to the seller and say, A, you have to take $110,000 less than you agreed to originally. And B, you have to fix up a bunch of stuff. Which, again, the client had no issue with, I guess they probably would have gone in there with a sledgehammer and taken down
done it themselves.
outbuildings.
They're handy. We know that.
I know. I need them to come to my house and do some things because I am not handy at all. We just got to know what we're good at, and that is not it. They're good at. Yep. They were traipsing around in the fields, and I was like, I didn't know what I was getting into.
And part of the prep into this too, they went and saw it the first time, and they loved it, and then we all talked about it. And we realized there may be some issues, so they went back and saw it again with those potential issues in mind.
Yes,
and they were snapping pictures of like, is this one an issue? Is this one an issue? Is this one an issue? Right. And I was like, yes.
Well, that's that information is power, right? They got more information and then they went and looked at it again through that lens to say, okay, is this going to be an issue? And, ultimately, obviously the seller was like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
they wanted to come down like $20K, and we were like, why would we pay an extra, whatever, 100, however, 90,000. Like, why would we pay 90,000 over the value?
Exactly.
So that ended up canceling, but they did get their deposit because of how the contract was written, and they were sad. They were definitely sad.
They were, but they were definitely less sad than they had been or would have been
If
If
they
it
had
had
just
just been
not.
like, yeah, this is a great home. Here's a pre-approval letter. Go, whatever. Yeah. And then, oh, shucks. Here's this appraisal thing that you know nothing about.
Right.
Right. Setting those expectations, making sure, hey, this is a real possibility. We don't hope that this happens.
No.
Right? We want the home to close too.
And you were
We
working on
always
getting
want the
cute with
home
that
to
one
close.
too.
I was working on getting cute with that one. I like getting cute with them.
You like it.
They're
Getting
fun.
cute, getting
Yeah, gotta get cute.
But so, so they got their deposit back. The agent got released from her listing with them because the guy was just completely unrealistic. And again, it's that condition of the property. If the property had been in better condition, it would have appraised for over
significantly
probably.
higher. That was the big issue. Was it was C5, right? We were trying to get it to C4 with the required repairs from the VA, but for the comps that the appraiser was using, there weren't any other. It was like if the home is C5 versus if the home is C3 or C4, there's a huge discrepancy.
Right, a couple $100,000.
$100,000. It was like all the C4, C5 properties are way lower than this list price, and all the C3 properties are way higher than this list price. So there's not really a way for that, and that happens out, in more rural areas like that when you're dealing with not as many homes close by. I mean, it was on 30, 40 acres.
Right.
So yeah, that can happen out there, unfortunately,
Yes.
where there's just not a lot of sales because there's not a lot of homes because they all come with so much land.
Right. And the seller, I could tell that the listing agent was very annoyed is probably a little strong, but
Yeah.
That she wanted us to get the appraisal, I think, because she wanted to be able to say, hey, dude, this is what it's worth. It's not just because you think it's worth $900 does not make it so.
Yeah.
And so I think she was like, well, let these people pay $700 to get the appraisal.
To help me out here.
Yeah. And so, but we're moved on to another property. We found a great one. They love it. It's in much better condition.
Yeah, way better condition.
Home
Beautiful
inspector
home.
said, it should be fine for the VA appraisal. We're waiting for it to come back today at 11:59.
Yeah.
A VA appraiser has to take as long as is humanly possible, or as long as the deadline.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
What can you do? What can you do?
We can't. Yeah.
We just appreciate them.
We do.
For all that they do.
We do. We're so thankful.
So, okay. So this has been really exciting.
Yes.
I really appreciate you being my first guest.
Of course.
On the podcast.
I am honored to be here. I am also out of wine.
I know. We're going to pour some more and then maybe we'll come back.
We'll keep going. All
okay. Right. Thanks so much, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.